My name is Jesus Cruz. I was born in Mexico City. I moved to USA when I was about 9 years old. And I used to live in Los Angeles, California, then moved to Florida. My life there was a little tricky. I mean, maybe because I was little and my parents had gotten divorced, so I was over there with my dad. Well, growing up, I think the hardest thing me growing up, it was that I didn't really get too much love from my dad. I'm never gonna forget that time, I was involved in drugs and gangs, and I started smoking weed at age 10. I was about to turn 11. I joined the gang when I was 11. I don't think it was bad. I just thought that, it was God's plan in my life. And now I look back at it, and I say, this is where God took me out of, and I'm gonna live for His glory. My life now, it's really wonderful, and I will never change this for anything.
I think it's an acceptance kind of thing. One of the hardest things for a teenager to do is figure out where they fit in. You've gone from being in middle school where you're not really sure what you're going to do with your life and where you're headed and kind of where you fit in.
I'm never going to forget that time, I was involved in drugs and gangs, and that was only at age. I started smoking weed at age 10. I was about to turn 11. I joined the gang when I was 11. That just made everything. I don't think it was bad. I just thought that it was God's plan in my life, because that way I got some experience off of it, and now I look back at it, and I say, this is where God took me out of, and I'm gonna live for His glory. My first encounter with God, we can say we can say we believe in God, but it's not the same thing knowing Him.
So once you get into high school and get into that 14, 15-year-old range, people are expecting you to act different. They're expecting you to behave different. They're expecting you to start growing up and start acting more like an adult. And a lot of kids have a real hard time making that transition. And a gang gives them structure and gives them purpose and gives them attention that they may not be getting anywhere else.
When I joined the gang, I did most of it because, I guess I wanted attention, and I guess I wanted power. Everyone's a little kid, wants to be the cool kid. But, at the end of it, it wasn't really like, I see it now, I don't think it's cool anymore. I think it was just dumb stuff.
Over the years, what I've seen as one of the biggest draws to it is that they feel wanted in that because of what they can do for the gang, whether it's the criminal activity or just making numbers or something like that.
They get you in it, so that way they're able to get drugs inside the schools. And that's what they used me for. I was selling drugs in middle school.
You'll find that a lot of people that get involved in gangs are not involved in anything else. They're not involved in sports. They're not involved with their family life. They're not involved academically at school other than just showing up. And that's one of the things that a gang kind of gives them, a family that they feel is more understanding. They don't make a whole bunch of rules on them. And it usually is a lot more their age. They're not, dealing with big brothers or little brothers or, other siblings. They're not dealing with parents. Everybody is kind of equal in it. Even though there's a hierarchy, you're still going in with other you know, people closer to your age, and it's not always do this, do this, do this.
I joined, you know, most likely because I felt alone. I was living in a house, you know, where my dad worked all the time. He would come home, feed me, and he would go to his AA meetings. And so I was alone most of the time. So I guess I just needed a distraction, and more than that, I wanted to feel like I had power in me. You know, because they tell you, you know, when you join a gang, they're like, we're your new family, we're gonna protect you. So, you know, you feel like you can do anything on the world, but that's not how it works. So, I mean, you can join a gang to feel cool, you can join a gang because you feel the need to like, maybe get attention. But, I mean, there's just different things that you can do, you know, that would influence you to join a gang. You know, my life now, it's really wonderful, and I will never change this for anything.
I get a feeling there's going to be a riot.
I don't read the newspapers because they all have ugly prints.
Check me out.
At the starting of the week, at Summit Talks, you'll hear them speak. It's only Monday. Negotiations breaking down. See those leaders start to frown. It's sword and gun day. Tomorrow never comes until it's too late. Come with it. Could be sitting, taking lunch. The news will hit you like a punch. It's only Tuesday.
What time is it?
You never thought we'd go to war after all the things we saw. It's April Fool's Day.
What time is it?